Today, we are talking about how you handle negative friends and the negative energy that will sometimes occur when you're trying to break out of maybe a certain cycle in life that you've gotten into. And I want to share with you very quickly, I've been in these positions before. I was actually working as a server at a bunch of different restaurants, and going from being a server in those restaurants to becoming a business owner, not having any employees and doing everything myself, to starting to hire employees, to starting to need to be more professional, to get insurance, to incorporate, to do all these different things. It took different things from me as a person. It took me being a different person at those different levels. And that person who was constantly evolving was someone who was constantly kind of breaking out of the bounds of friend groups. And it was very difficult. And I don't want to sugarcoat that for any of you who are listening to this right now who are considering getting into business, but I want it to be an encouragement for those of you who are in business, who are feeling some of the friction and some of the issues that may occur when you have friends who aren't encouraging you or being negative. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this topic because it's something I'm very passionate about, and I hope that it serves you as you are on your own personal journey. When you're trying to do something new, by definition, you are breaking out of an environment that you were in. That environment, a lot of times, is cultivated by your friends. It's cultivated by the people who you've allowed in your circles, who are having input in your life. These people may be dear friends, these people may be family members, but these people may also want to keep you inside the bubble, and they may want to keep you inside because it's more comfortable for them and it doesn't highlight their weaknesses, their failures, and maybe their lack of intention to grow themselves. This is really scary. You want to stay away from these types of people, but it's very, very hard to break away from them. And I'm going to give you a couple examples from my own life. I was a server, like I was mentioning earlier, at restaurants. And as I was starting to open my business and need to spend my time in different ways, it was very hard for me to get together with people after work. Frequently, I would go and shoot some pool, have a couple beers, relax, with all of my coworkers after work. But now, instead of doing that, I had this business to run. And at the time I had a new baby, and there were some different things that were happening in my life that I needed to redirect my attention. But I cannot tell you how many times my friends from back then were saying, "Hey man, where are you at? Hey man, can we just go for one beer? Hey man, you don't come out with us anymore. Hey man, we never see you around. Where have you been?" And these types of things can really wear on somebody if you allow them to penetrate your head and get inside your mindset. And I can't tell you how many times people would say stuff like that, and I, for a while, would just respond, "Oh, hey, I'm doing this or doing that," or I would just give these excuses, but it never felt good. And it really stole a lot of the joy that I had away from me building this incredible business that I was passionate about. And so if you're in a similar situation right now, where you're trying to build something, but you have people in your ecosystem who don't understand what it is, and they're hitting you up and they're like, "Hey, I haven't seen you out," or "Hey, why don't we see you here anymore?" Or "Hey, can you just grab one glass of wine?" Or "Hey, we're just gonna do this," or "just gonna do that." Anytime you start hearing words like that, you really need to take a second look at what they're asking you to do. What are you trading for that time? And for me, just one beer was always 3 or 5 beers, let's be honest. And it was always one game of pool that turned into 4 games of pool. And it was always kind of that slippery slope that ended up being so much more than like just one beer or just one glass of wine or just one insert fun thing, right? And so for me, it came to a point where I had to decide, do I want to be serious about this thing over here? Or do I want to be serious about this over there? And you may be facing that right now in your life. You may be facing a scenario where you have a dream that you want to build, and there are people in your environment that aren't necessarily the biggest cheerleaders of that, because that means you can't show up and hang out with them. And that's a scary thing. And it really takes a good friend to be willing to kind of let you go, let you continue to grow and build something new, and come back and kind of rediscover the friendship. And those are the friends that you want to keep around. Those are the friends that you want, those people who are in your circle saying, "Good job, keep going, don't hang out. I know you're busy. I love what you're doing. I see what you're building. I don't understand it, but I think it's awesome that you're passionate about this." You want those people in your group. You want people who are looking to introduce you to other people, to build your business up. And so if you don't have these people in your life, I challenge you to audit your circle and think of creative ways that you can be busy. Because after a while, these people will start falling out. And I know that that sounds harsh, and that sounds like you may not have any friends, but trust me, it is not lonely at the top. It's not even lonely sometimes in the middle. It's lonely in the middle a lot of times because we don't talk about it. And as business owners, we are not collaborating with each other and sharing some of the stories of the process that it took us. And that's what a forum like this is for, the Venue RX, and our community that we're building here. So anyway, I so appreciate you listening to this. If this has given you any value, I would love if you shared it with others, and maybe drop me a little comment below and let me know if you're going through a tough time, if there's any way I can support. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.